Here I am with Ewan Roderick, a prolific and accomplished young artist here in Tallinn, in Estonia. I wanted to speak to you quite soon after meeting you, because very often when people have the opportunity to speak to an artist, they've got to know the artist's work, they've got to know the art, and they ask themselves, I wonder what the artist is actually like. I wonder if he is truly how I imagine him to be by looking at his art. Whereas with you, I met you, got to know you as a bloke, kind of made friends with you.
Okay.
You mentioned you were an artist, and I thought, I wonder if this guy's art reflects.
I'm pretty similar with a bloke. Yeah, that fits the description pretty well.
Whether or not your art is somehow a representative of what kind of man you are.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you straight up, what do you imagine you are as an artist? You know, what is an artist as far as you are concerned?
Oh.
I mean,
you already said it.
What do you believe the artist's role is?
You already said it. You got to know me, you got to know the bloke first. So I think I'm kind of making a bloke art. So.
Right. Okay.
So, my art's being a bloke, or maybe a block, or maybe something like that. That may be a bit blocky.
Well, this is kind of why I wanted to. Why I chose this, because.
Yeah, but as I do art, I do like this, and I do pretty various art. That's just one example of maybe a body of 1,000 artworks that I have online.
Well, yes. I mean, if you look on your website or one of your shows, there's a lot of it.
But different.
But there's a couple of things that I won't say you're known for, but there's a few of them. One are your horses.
Yes. I have about 100 horses or something.
Yeah, 100 like your happy fish.
Yeah, I have at least 100 fish.
And your female nudes.
I have at least 100 of those as well.
Come on. One of the things I know about you from chatting, although you are an artist, and here you are with your black polo neck on.
Oh yeah. That's actually a warm-up shirt in winter.
To show that.
I'm cold.
This is an artist uniform. And you live here in Tallinn in an apartment, not in a little wooden house like me. But you are, at heart, a country boy, aren't you?
Kind of. I grew up in countryside in a farm. In the middle of a forest, pretty much, on nearby sea. So we had some farming going on, and we had our own cows and rabbits, and we had to chop our own firewood, and we had to bucket in the water from the well, and we had some field making, and we grew our own potatoes and carrots and cabbages and sweets and berries and apples and whatever. I have done all of it. I have all the farm works, from feeding cows to cutting them into meat.
For most of our
all of it
that makes you total countryside man. And presumably your relationship with horses is part of that.
Well, I have been visiting a few stables, and I have a friend who's an equestrian teacher. She also showed me around horses, and we've been playing around, and I've also been in the stables, grooming them and cleaning them and feeding them and taking them out, and sometimes wrestling with them, because that person who taught me riding also was teaching wild horses to be rideable by humans. So that's either way.
You see, when I try to put you on the spot and ask you a heavy question like, what do you imagine an artist to be in a modern...
Well, I think it's actually answered.
Well, I know, and it was a bit of a forceful question to ask, but
perfectly good.
Yeah, but the reason I blurted it out like that is because Mankind's relationship with the horse is almost as old and as important as his relationship with art. Maybe not quite as old, because we associate horse culture in this part of the world as coming maybe with the Bronze Age or something, and people. But
art is older.
Art is older, but we're still talking about something that's kind of fundamental.
Well, close enough, I guess. I think they're pretty neck and neck, actually, if I think about it.
A long-standing and important relationship.
Yeah.
And yet, in the modern world, our relationship with the horse is finished. The horse has been discarded from, what for thousands and thousands of years has been this symbiotic relationship. And it was seemed to me that also, almost at the same time, our relationship with art, our understanding of art, has also been lost. So now, the question, what is an artist, or what is you as an artist, seems to me a question people ask because they don't know the answer, because it's been lost to us.
Well,
Similarly as our relationship with the horse and dogs to some extent. I suppose crazy people still have cats, but that relationship with the natural world is being lost. You can obviously draw a horse. This is
I can also paint.
Unquestionably a horse, but it's not exactly stubs. You're doing something else. The colours, to me, I think a lot of people, when they look at them, the joyfulness, the happiness, the kind of bloke you are is there in that picture of the horse. Apart from just a joyful expression of horsefulness, what else should I be looking at in this painting?
Well, you can use your eyes, and you can also use your imagination. I have just painted it. When I paint, I don't think in terms of words or what I paint. But I don't paint anything with, to some exceptions. I usually don't have a certain way how to think about it or how to interpret this work. So it spoke to you, so probably you have the story for you in this painting. So that's just as good. I don't have like the one way what that particular painting is supposed to mean. So I'm not a conceptual artist in that way.
Nice. So there's the girl as well.
Oh yeah, here's a hidden girl.
Yes.
That's one of my enigma paintings that has multiple hidden images here there that you can find. So it's kind of I'm a various thing as an artist. I'm partly entertainer, I'm partly a comedian, wow. I'm partly a dead serious technician, or sometimes I'm kind of a historian, or sometimes I'm kind of a spy,
so, you see,
or something like that.
You see, you've said something there that I think is quite important, because when I look at these paintings of yours, I look at them and think, oh, I'd like that, I'd like that. If I had that in my house, I'd just enjoy it. I'd just come in, I'd see it, it'd make me feel happy. It would, with this, it would take me back to that simple, the joy of riding a horse, or as modern man has is, sports cars or some convenient replacement for the horse.
Horsepower.
And maybe with the girl here, it's maybe women have hung on to horses longer than men.
Well, also there's a nickname for men is also a nickname, a stallion.
Yeah.
So that's the stallion.
But you see. Then you've used this word,
the subject,
entertainer. Now a lot of artists, they get really precious about this. They say, oh, my art isn't there to entertain, it's not decoration, it's serious art. And you think, well, so what does it do? and then they're stuck for an answer. Whereas you're unashamedly saying, my art is there to
Well, it's supposed to.
entertain.
Well, it's supposed to do something. It's supposed to decor. It has supposed to lift the spirit of somebody who's looking at it. It's supposed to entertain you. There's also a form of intelligent entertainment in it, as it creates your own story in it. So you can dive in with your own imagination, and I don't restrict your imagination in it. So. Well,
No, nevertheless, you've done something clever in provoke. I think as all artists who say that, all artists, you ask them, the layman always demands a precise meaning from an artist, and the artist says, no, I'm just trying to provoke your imagination. As if it's nothing. But, but to do that...
I do provoke. I'm pretty provocative. I do provoke independent thinking, and I don't intend this to be an answer, but I intend it to be more like a question. And you have your own answer. Somebody may be offended, somebody may be triggered, somebody may be amused, somebody may be something else.
There are professionals in being triggered and offended.
That's the usual suspects.
But you'd be trying hard with yours. I think the wonderful thing about yours is that there is an intention there, maybe a vague intention, but I think in your art there is the intention to bring a kind of a joy to the viewer.
Kind of, yeah. Well, first I start with myself. I get entertained myself when I paint something like that. So I also have fun here. So doing those.
And people can have this on mugs, mats. They can have prints of it in all kinds of ways from your website.
Yeah, absolutely. I have these online.
Details in the thingamajig below. Thank you for watching.